Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Kinner, and this is Aerosport. This is a highlight reel from our Armed Forces Championship. We had teams from the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines competing in the first ever Aerosport Commanders Cup. It was a special event, brought communities together, and really highlighted our incredible heroes who serve here in Colorado Springs. Give it up for who here serves in the military. Raise your hand if you served. Give it up for all these heroes. We love you all. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. So let me bring you back. May 2023. I'm looking in the mirror at a man I hardly recognized. I was mentally exhausted, emotionally tapped out, and financially on the brink of the edge. I was about to make a hard decision. After 5 years of giving this dream everything I had, and when I say everything, I mean everything, I was about to pull the plug and say, hey, maybe I don't have what it takes to scale a sport. This dream that was so core of my identity, I realized I was at the end of the rope and I didn't see a clear pathway to make it happen. Let me take you back to the very beginning. I had the idea to create a game that could bring communities together. I wanted to create the game that I wish existed when I was a kid. After a number of events that happened in my life, seeds were planted for me to create something special, something unique that could bring communities together. And when I become a grandparent someday, that I could play with my grandkids and still be in on the fun. I wanted to create something that could give people less screen time and more sunshine. And the reality is I had no idea how to invent a sport, but I felt inspired because there was a purpose greater than myself. And so here are some of my early prototypes. No idea how to find an invention engineer. I stumbled upon one book, one step that continued to lead to the next breakthrough. And we found this brilliant engineer to help design the product. I had no idea how to source manufacturers, flew overseas, and found some incredible manufacturing partners to help us manufacture a product that was incredibly durable, but also crazy fun. We had no idea how to invent a sport that was fun. We had no idea how to make it engaging for both adults who are very competitive, but also maybe some of the underdogs who are typically left out on the sidelines. But we figured it out. We had no idea how to create a sport that was so competitive with your most competitive group of friends that you could create a moment that was unforgettable. We had no idea how to do trade show tours. Throughout those 5 years, I traveled 22 states, building early partnerships with YMCAs, Boys and Girls Clubs, schools, and we developed some early fans who loved our mission, loved our product, and fell in love with what we were building for the next generation. Had some early events with Denver Broncos. We were so fired up about everything we were building. We had true momentum. We had 100% growth that year. And then COVID happened. Our entire momentum, everything that we worked for was shut down overnight. And we had no money left to really focus on pivoting to the B2C market because we were focused B2B. So this is my son, Samurai. So we call him Samurai. His name's Samuel Ryan, and he is the ultimate underdog. His story is very complicated. He has microcephaly and lissencephaly, which basically means he's unable to eat, walk, talk, or see, and he's also unable to hear. A lot of people would say, hey, there's a lot of things this dude can't do, but I'm telling you, what he can do is light you up. When you meet him, his presence inspires your soul, and he is my greatest teacher. He's helped me tap into things that I didn't know I had. When I was about to give up on this dream, I looked at him and I was like, wow, like he doesn't complain, he's fully present, time for me to show up and level up. So bring me back to the mirror. I was looking in the mirror, about to throw in the towel. I cared so much about this passion. I knew what it could do for communities, but I was tapped out. I didn't have a clear path forward. There we go. So I'm standing in the mirror, and then I joined a community called Front Row Dads. If you haven't heard of Front Row Dads, I highly recommend it if you're a father. The idea is to be family men with businesses, not businessmen with families. I joined this mastermind, and it changed my life. They invited me to do a 75 hard challenge. If anyone's tried 75 hard, I have to warn you, it's freaking hard. It destroyed me, but it challenged me to show up with consistency and discipline like I'd never had before. And I remember during the 75 hard challenge, they had you read a book. 10 pages out of a book every day. And I love reading books, but I was exhausted one night. And I'm reading Think and Grow Rich for like the 12th time. I love that book. But the challenge is, normally I just gloss over the stories, but I read the story of quitting 3 feet from gold. And I remember that story like it was yesterday when I read that. And I was like, wow, if I give up on this dream, it's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And I changed my purpose from, hey, how can other people help me get this sport off the ground, to, hey, what can this sport do for others? Right now, there's millions of kids who are contemplating suicide, who are not moving. Their brain is rotted because of the digital fatigue that we're all experiencing. So I partnered with Front Row Dads. I didn't partner with them, but I became a passionate member of their community. This is an event we did with the Front Row Dad Live community. These are some of the top executives, top thought leaders in the United States, and they fell in love with the sport and how it gets people into flow. I'm gonna do some highlights of the events we did last year. Again, the Armed Forces Championship was next level. So what's next? So we're working on some killer events. Can't wait for you to give you a clue of what they are if we have more time during the questions. And also the Small Business Showdown is something I teased at. So again, my name is Mike Kinner, and I'll open up for questions. Thank you guys for your time.